We're live. Hey, everybody. Should I be looking at the camera or should I be looking at y'all or the camera or y'all or the camera or y'all? Which one? Hey. Oh my goodness. Hello, Penny, Amanda, Sky. Hey, y'all. Elliot, you come up here and say hey to the grown people. Stop being rude. Please, some unicorns in the chat for my baby. Unicorns for Elliot. Is the audio okay? Elliot, is the audio okay? Can y'all hear me? Hannah K, hey girl, hey. So good to have everybody. Yay, Maria, the songbird, hey y'all. See, I would set him up higher, but how my setup is, this all we can see on my lap. So we can see his unicorn. Mrs. Thomas, hey. How y'all doing? Oh my goodness. Lindsay, Miss Lulu. Hey girl. How is everyone doing tonight? My baby. Y'all I'm prepared. Okay, I'm prepared. Let me go shut this door so Mr. Librarian ain't like, hey, he done seen all of the books and the reviews because we literally sit next to each other almost every night. And so he knows all the books. So let me go and close the door so he be good. So Elliot, you be sweet. Okay. All right, honey. Just text me if you need me. Hey, y'all. Oh, my goodness. So good to have Katie. Hey, girl. Hey. Listen, y'all know I'm a professional, okay? Do I need to be looking here? Is it weird that I'm looking straight or should I look here? Like, do my eyesight need to be here or here? Because I want to see. The library. Yes. Lord, we thank you. It's actually clean for the most part. Don't look back there about all them books over there. Those books. Yeah. All of them, they fail, huh? Most of those are DNFs. Don't be afraid to DNF, y'all. Don't be afraid. Yes. Amy, sister. Oh my gosh. So good to have you here. I've been keeping you in my prayers, girl. Yes. And prayers for everybody who's in Florida. And all the people who are coming down to help assist the state of Florida. That was so crazy, but we thank God for his mercy. Oh my goodness. And all those who had loved ones that had loss of life, praying for them too. So yes. Hannah K. Oh my goodness. Monique, the besties in the house, y'all. I'm sweating like a pig in a pork roast. Okay. Whew, y'all ever sweat like that? Where it's glistening? And that's not oil from my hair. That's oil from my skin. But cheers to the bubble tea. Cheers to the bubble tea. Okay, I'm prepared. Let me turn this fan on because I'm hot. Now I'm sweating like a pig in a pork roast. Hold on. I'm prepared, y'all. I am. Woo. Lord, we thank you. Oh my goodness. Lord, we thank you. All the books. Oh my goodness. Yes, take your time, Penny. I'm gonna start right away. If y'all want to get you a snack, a blankie, whatever you need, we'll be starting here in a few minutes. I'm not prepared. I don't got no notes, so we're gonna go on in Jesus' name. So, cheers to the bubble tea, Sky. I see you. Yes, thank you. This is a Walmart special, huh? Okay. I do be like not wanting to go Walmart, but sometimes they're just here for you. When you need them, they're here for you, right, Elliot? Yes. Sky, you got that Cinderella? Yes. So so good to have everybody here. Oh my goodness, you guys, so much support for me and the channel. And, you know, I'm so humbled by all of it. And I just thank each of you. I'm gonna try to look at the camera because I think that's where I'm supposed to be looking. So I just want to thank each of you for all of your support and just coming here to hang out with your girl because she's just out here in the wild. So yeah, so get all your snacks, get all your treats. Let's do because I have to I think with YouTube you got to have like a certain amount of subscribers or something to get like the super duper glow up on the stream. So we right here doing the best we can. So let's see. Let's play some my music here while we get everybody get those snacks. Oh, Maria. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, you guys are wonderful. You guys are wonderful. So before we get started, dance party. This is Elliot's favorite song. He made me change the song. So all the books. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So many books, y'all. So many books. Okay. Yes. Also, too, thanks Scott for the reminder. But oh, y'all want to keep dancing? We can do it. I want to make sure Penny got her coffee. Did Penny come back with her coffee yet? I don't want to start without my girl Penny. She came out here in these streets when I was talking about Hobb. And so, Samantha, hey girl, hey. Yeah. Awesome. I love y'all so much. Okay, let's get talking about the books. Oh my goodness. So for August, like the past couple months has just been so crazy. I don't know about y'all, but it's just been lightning speed. August went by so fast. I hardly remember all the things that happened in my life. And then this month was wild too, with a lot of things going on. So, you know, live streaming, here we go. And let me know if y'all like this medium. Maybe this is what I could do once a month for my wrap up. And then, you know, have other videos as well to go along with it. So we just gonna start from what we know, and we're gonna just pull up this Goodreads. You know what? Let's just start with these books here. Let's see. Okay, so I read Death by Dumpling in August. This is one of my first books I read, and like I'm on my cozy mystery vibe. So we love to see that. And so this is by Vivian Chin. I think I'm saying her name right. Chin. Ooh, the Noodle Shop Mystery. I don't know. Noodle Shop Mystery. Death by Dumpling. Cozy mystery. I'm on this cozy mystery vibe. Thanks to Miss Agatha Christie. We love to see it. So, and look at this cover, y'all. Isn't it beautiful? Don't it make you want some lo mein and wontons? I mean, it's so delicious looking. And I've discovered since reading so many cozies that I really, really enjoy cozies around food. I'm not really stuck on a setting per se because I read Beaches and Bungalows. I'm gonna talk about that. Did I read that in August? I don't know. Chrissy ain't got her notes. I got my notes somewhere. I'm straight. I'm prepared. But yeah, so this was a good time. Essentially, it's about what's her name? Lena Lee. And she caught herself in a situation. The situation was she was tired of where she was working at. And she pretty much cussed her boss out and was like, I don't want to work here. No way. Forget all of y'all. So they was like, okay, thank you for sharing your thoughts. You're fired. So she had to go work at her parents' noodle shop. And then somebody get delivered some bad dumplings and they die. So, and the person that died happens to run this entire Asian market area in Cleveland. Cleveland, of all places. I was like, yes, I'd love to see it. It was so cute. I think it's a great entry. I gave it 3 stars. I had so much fun. So I definitely recommend this. And I think I'm going to continue in the series. I have, I think books 3 and 5 over there. So your girl, she ain't ever getting nothing on order, like in order. I don't know what I'm doing. I just out here living my life. I guess that's what I'm doing. So yeah, let me know in the chat what is your favorite cozy that you've read so far this year. But this was a good one. I had a lot of fun with this one for sure. Yes. So then I read Elijah's Bones by Don Hassel. So if y'all ain't know, I live in Virginia, Virginia on the map. We here, baby, Everybody from VA, hit me up. I don't think any of y'all are from Virginia, but if you are, hey, Virginians, here we go. But Elijah's Bones. So my husband took me to, and Katie went there, I think earlier this year. I think Katie went there on a haul as well. It's called the Green Valley Book Fair. It's like the largest book fair in Virginia. And I love going there once a year with my husband. And he takes me there and I could just be gone for days, honey, just gone for days. We went a whole weekend. And so I got this book on that haul. And it's really about bones of a prophet once raised dead to life. So it's like Da Vinci Code meets scripture meets mystery and intrigue, but not so much intrigue. It was a little, the pacing was off with this. And you know, there were parts like that he did well. Like I could see him like at his computer, like this thing is gonna be awesome. Click, click. And then after that, it was just stale. But that's just my exaggerated opinion. But again, you know, it was good. I gave it 3.5. It's kind of leaning on the 2.5. It's kind of, you know, on the 2.5. But yeah, this was good. I highly recommend it if you're into, like, if you're looking for some kind of like you know, national treasure hunting. I was gonna say stone and the sword. What, that don't even make sense. Sword and the stone. That don't even, that's Arthurian. That ain't got nothing to do. I'm a professional. Y'all know how to describe this book. But anyway, the main character, I really like. The faith elements were okay. They were there, but he had a couple of curse words in here. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a prude, but I'm just saying like they were misplaced. And I was like, I don't know. So I guess it's kind of leaning to a 2.5 to a 2. I mean, to a 3. Maybe I should change my reading because I said it was a 2. Ooh, T, if it fall, what? It fall. Okay, so let me see. Now I did look. Y'all forgive me. My mama gonna lay me out if I don't send her the stream link, Lord. And then she gonna be mad when she see it back that I said that. So let me do this real quick. So everything is okay on the home front, okay? And so, you know, hold on one second. I'm a professional, y'all. I have all this planned, okay? I have all of this planned. So if you need to take an intermission or whatever, feel free to do so. So here we go. I'm gonna send that to her as well, and then to my father, because I'm sure he would appreciate that as well. So because they were like, oh, for real, how we do that? Yes. So here we go. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm professional. I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting all my stuff straight. I'm getting it all straight, okay? I'm getting it all straight. Yes. But see, I ain't had no time. You know, Mr. Librarian made a request to get dinner as soon as I walked back in the door. And I was like, bro, I got stuff to do. But anyway. So let me get back to the main thing. So pull my Goodreads because I did get a lot of library books. And on average, how many library books do y'all normally get a month? I was just talking to my best friend, and I was telling her about how much I love the libraries and going there and all the things that go with it and just getting free books. We love a free books. Oh my goodness. So yes. So let's see. Okay. So the next book I want to talk about is Ocean at the End of the Lane. by Neil Gaiman. I don't have a copy of this, but we'll show you. So y'all here, so y'all can see what book I'm talking about. But yeah, Ocean at the End of the Lane was a library. Hey Mama was a library loan. And I think Books with Chaz, I'll have to link his channel in the chat. But Books with Chaz, he's kind of like the Gandalf of fantasy, if I had to explain that. You know what I'm saying? He's like grandpa fantasy. You know what I mean? Very sweet man. And Neil Gaiman is one of his favorites. And so he had a buddy read in July, and I missed that one. So I was like, let me catch you on August. My bad, sir. Because everybody was on the Discord reading it, and I was just out. And so Ocean at the End of the Lane. I tell you, with this, I give this 4 stars. It was very sobering, elegant, and engaging. And one of the things I really, really appreciated about it was how he told the story. So the main character is at his childhood home for a funeral, and he's coming back to the place of his childhood, but then he's also revisits a trauma that he had. Essentially, I don't want to spoil it what the trauma is. It's nothing too crazy, but definitely as a kid, it would be pretty traumatic if you had saw that. And how he, as a child, he processed that experience, and then pairing those memories with the memories he has as an adult, and how those decisions affected him, and how he moved through his life, and how his life is a little trash now. Just a little bit, just a little trash. Elliot, cover your ears, baby. It's a little trash. But he manages to form a deeper understanding about himself. And so I found that very refreshing, although it had a very sober tone to it. So it definitely was, it was definitely an interesting read. I can't say I would read another Neil Gaiman. I know Neverwhere is a book that everyone talks about as well, that they really enjoy. So it's a shaky maybe, huh? A shaky maybe with Neverwhere. So if you've read Neverwhere, let me know your thoughts. But I did give Ocean at the End of the Lane 4 stars. And so I think I can check off my Neil Gaiman box now for life. So we love to see that. We love to see that. So let's catch up in the chat. Oh, Miss Thomas, you got 5 books from the library. Wow, that's amazing. Hey, Nay, hey girl, what's up? Daughters of Increase, love you, girl. Yes, okay. Hello to everyone who's just joining the chat. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try to go through all my library ones that I got. That way, you know, I can get back to these books because I am prepared. I already told y'all that. Elsa to Island. Now, this, again, a library haul. And I don't know if y'all can see that because of the lighting. Elsa to Island. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll definitely link the books in the chat at the end of the stream. Hello, Dad. Everyone say hello, Dad. My dad's in the chat. So good to see you guys. So Elsa Island. So one of these days when CHRISSIE was in the wild, on a Saturday, I took myself on a library haul. And so I went across 2 towns to this library I went to when I was a young girl. My mother would take me all the time, and I loved it. And they had the best books. And Elsa Island was a book on the shelf, and I picked it up because the cover, I mean, it's so gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. And my review says RTC. So your girl, again, ain't take no notes. I didn't put no notes in the Goodreads. I'm prepared. I'm so prepared. But I'm pretty sure I took notes. I'm pretty sure I took notes because I'm prepared. Okay. But yeah, Elsa Island, with this particular book, it's written in Spanish, and it's a graphic novel, and it's told, let me pull my notes up here so I can actually, because it's a beautiful book. I gave it 5 stars. It's a middle grade graphic novel set in Havana of 1961, and it watches the rise of Fidel Castro. And so this particular girl was, there was a program back then called the Operation Peter Pan, and it was started by Father Walsh. He's a Catholic priest. And so he was offering parents to send their children over to America during this time. And so this is a story about this young girl. And so it was a beautiful story, and it was told in and a graphic novel, and progressively when the story opens up, she's happy, and the colors and all the things that are happening, and that's really comes through in the story with the illustrations are just so top tier. It is in Spanish, but it was very easy to understand what was happening, and how this young girl that she grew up in Havana, and the lush greenery and plants and flowers and the food and the dancing and the music and the family and the sense of belonging, the sense of identity here. And then with the advent of Fidel Castro, she has to go away, and her parents have to leave her, not knowing if they'll see her again. And so she's with this adopted family, an older man and woman, and who I guess they didn't have any children, and she's trying to fit in. She does not speak English. The food that the people that she lived with ate, that was just you know bland with no salt on it, huh? They probably, I mean, it's the 60s, so they probably, they probably had salt, but everybody don't season their food right. You know what I'm saying? Well, everybody don't season food the way other people season food, so her food seasoning was different. So that was a bit of a thing. And then, it was very cold because I think she was in New York. And so she never experienced seasons before. So it's really great. It was really, really great. I highly recommend Isla Island. It's great for kids as well. And I think it's the first time I've actually read a graphic novel that actually had historical setting. And the story progressed through with, historical implications or impact on the character in a children's book, in a graphic novel. So all of those things together was just so decadent. 5 stars. Y'all got to read that. Yes. Speaking of children's graphic novels, my CiCi's journal. Oh my goodness. CiCi's journal. Can we take a moment? CiCi's journal. Ellie, you're going to get you a big old hug because we love CiCi. Oh my goodness. We love CiCi. It was so good. I first heard about CiCi's journal from Krista on Books and Jams. And I think I was watching her wrap up or a live stream or something. I was watching, and she talked about CiCi's journal. And I was like, oh my goodness, I need to read this. So I went on to my library and got it. And CiCi, I gave this 4.5 stars because I'll talk about the tea in a second. But that why I didn't get a full star. But CiCi is precocious, she's observant, and she's passionate. It was so fun reading the story through her eyes as a 12-year-old, because we all were 12 and we thought we just knew the world and everything about it. And we was that kid that let me speak for myself. I was that kid. Okay. Didn't know nothing. But had such passion and had such drive to be there for the people that she loves. But oftentimes it got lost in translation. And so her issues and the dynamics with her mother and her friends were very relatable and so heartwarming. And I just enjoyed the time. And the illustrations were it was literally like reading through a kid's journal. A 12-year-old girl's journal. I mean, with the sticky notes and the drawings and the stick figure drawing, your girl still draw like that, huh? I have not elevated my people drawing yet. So I still draw a circle, a stick, and the arms and the legs. That's it right there. Your girl ain't elevated her people drawing skills at all. But, that's fine. But eventually, CiCi learns all the lessons you learn as you grow up: forgiveness, openness, and understanding other people. Now, T, speaking of T, and I think it was just more of a preference thing, but I think for me, one of her friends was, I don't really like how one of the characters was portrayed. And the character, one of her friends, is African-American girl. And she always had misunderstandings with her. And I think that bothered me, how her friend was portrayed as being very stereotypical. And I think that was like, I mean, why can't she just be regular? So that was very, okay. I was like, okay, Okay, Christina, everybody just take a deep breath. It's okay. But I really didn't like the stereotypical spin on that. And hey, so that's why I didn't get completely 5 stars for me. But hit and miss. She liked fried chicken, did she? Sky, I'm done. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, she didn't like fried chicken. She probably did, but she just was like the stereotypical, kind of neck snap, just a stereotypical little black girl. And I was just like, well, I mean, no, I mean that's not a unique experience, and that just kind of took away a little bit for me, and that was the only thing that left a sour note for me. But she probably did eat a lot of chicken. She had 2 older brothers who were in college, so she probably did eat a lot of chicken. I don't know. She didn't really talk about that, but she had a lot of attitude for no reason. I was like, she's 12. So, it kind of was just like, okay, all right, that's fine. That's their right to, portray characters that they feel they want to, but we ain't gotta like it. That's all right. We ain't got to like it. Okay. So let's see. I was gonna do something with like what I read in August and September, but we way past that now. We're way past that now. So let me catch up in the chat. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Oh, CiCi's on your TBR, Maria. I hope you enjoy it. I really, really do. Yeah. Mom says she wants to read CiCi's after China Rich Girlfriend. Yeah. China Rich Girlfriend is amazing, y'all. That's Kevin Kwan's Crazy Rich Asian series. I highly recommend that as well. Amanda, yes, girl. Tell me what you think about that CiCi when you get to it, honey. Yes. Okay. So let's see. Let's keep on going. More library loans. Dead Sea Rising by Jerry B. Jenkins. Okay, Jerry B. Jenkins. He's probably familiar to a lot of people who are Christian, Christians who read Christian fiction and Christian nonfiction. But Jerry Jenkins was one of the authors in the Left Behind series. He's written so many books, and he's one of my favorite Christian authors, like to date. And so when I saw this on audio, I was really excited about it. I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. But I think I was anticipating something to happen, but it was really kind of like a little bit of a watered down family drama. I did like the dual timelines, and there was a lot of tension with the dad's secret. So there was some secret that daddy won't telling nobody, and he won't nobody know. Then the secret come out, and I'm like, bro, that wasn't a secret. That was just life. I mean, that wasn't a secret to tell nobody. You could have been said something about that, but I guess it was that false sense of tension that kind of was like, come on now. Okay. But again, that's okay. But I did appreciate the main characters being Messianic Jews, and that was very educational, very refreshing to read on page. But the story did feel a little underwhelming for me a little bit. So I wouldn't say it's a 2.5, 3, but it's definitely a solid 3. But I recommend it, especially if you want to read more Jerry Jenkins, or you've read some of his other works. And there's another book back here that he wrote that is one of my favorites of all time, by the way. We'll get to that in a second. But Jerry Jenkins, this was a good time. And sometimes you just got to do those books you got to be listening and doing. Ain't that right, Amanda? Listening and doing. So this is one of those listening and doings, because I want to read all the books that I can. And so this turned out to be a good time, for sure. Daughter of Increase says she plans to get into Jerry's solo novels, and you all on the bookshelf. Oh, that'd be great. What book is that? I would love to know. That book, Penny, is called Dead Sea Rising, Dead Sea Chronicles #1. So essentially, I don't even know if I told y'all about the book, what it meant, but and again, I don't really know. I think it's supposed to be about geology or geographic kind of story, like Elijah's Bones, and about, there's somebody tracking someone down because they found an ancient artifact, and the daughter of the main character, I think she's trying to be on an expedition. And I was like, oh, it's going to be an expedition. That's going to be cool. Ooh, and we never really got there. But it's a series. Excuse me. We love the series, but I didn't love it enough to want to continue. So, yeah. I Saw by him. Yeah, Saw. I had that one. I haven't read it yet, But Jerry Jenkins, he has a lot of great books. But everybody, if it fall, it fall. So maybe he thought this just wasn't the one. So let me see. I think are those all of the library books that I had? Okay. The next one I have is Shadows of Self, Mistborn, number 5. Brando Sando in the house, y'all. I hope y'all didn't think we was gonna get through this and won't gonna be no fantasy, huh? They're gonna be fantasy. Okay, there's gonna be fantasy. So yeah, Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 5 in the second Mistborn series. The original Mistborn trilogy, I highly recommend. It's one of the best fantasy trilogies of all time, in my opinion. Yes, Brando Sando. The Sanderlanche is a very real thing. And so this series takes place about 200 years after the events of the Mistborn trilogy. So it's different. It's very, very different. And if you have read Mistborn, the first trilogy, I would recommend like getting some space between this one and that one, because it's a totally different style. It's more like a Western. Taught my accent so strong. My accent so strong. A Western. And so it follows a detective and his friend, and they're trying to track down some mysterious events that are happening. To say more than that would be to spoil the original, the Mistborn trilogy. But the Mistborn trilogy, if you didn't know, that was kind of about people in that world. You could ingest metals, and if you could ingest metals, you became a misting. But if you can ingest more than one metal, you became a Mistborn, and you had status and money and clout and an opportunity for, you have more access to more opportunities as well. And so we follow a street urchin named Vin. No, that ain't her name. Is it Vin? Y'all check me. But anyway, we follow the main character. She's about 19, and she is discovered that she is a Mistborn, and she joins the sect of heisters, and they put on a heist to take down the Lord Ruler. And so it's so epic. It's dense though, but I highly recommend it. But anyway, so that was a great time. I really had a good time with this book. The Shadows of Self. So I think the first one was, I don't remember what the fourth book was, but this was really good. I was like, oh, I didn't really get the Sanderlanche in book 4, but the Sanderlanche happens in Shadows of Self. But again, manage your expectations, especially if the Mistborn was just like one of your favorites. You might be a little disappointed. I wasn't disappointed. I just kind of went in with just like, okay, this is going to be completely different. So completely different tone, completely different setting, but still a really, really good time. So yes, I think, the Testament. Oh, I had a lot of library books, huh? Your girl been out here getting her loan on top of loan, on top of loan, on top of loan. Okay. John Grisham, huh? Testament, the Testament. Influenced, okay? Who influenced me? Amanda, book lover Amanda influenced me. Oshina got to read them all. Talked so highly of this book, and I gave it 4 stars. It was such a great time. I realized over the past few months, I love the all the family get together. A rich family members died, and they got to read the will, and somebody died because somebody won all the money. And I need it in my life. It was so good. I was like, he got $46 billion. Like, I don't even think Solomon had that much money. Okay. Solomon is supposed to be the richest man that ever lived. That's what the Bible said. He was the richest man that ever lived, period. Like, all the money in the world ain't gonna add up to the money that Solomon had. Okay. So I'm pretty sure Solomon had over 46 billion at that point. But I'm just saying, I don't know. So yeah, this was my first John Grisham book. It was wild. It was intense. It was intriguing. And y'all, the faith elements in the Testament, I was so blown away by the the presence of faith and what John Grisham was really saying. And I'm not sure, I really get the impression that is a man of faith. But I listened to a little bit of the audio at the end when he was doing his acknowledgments, and he said a lot of it came from a preacher friend or a priest that he knew. So he was able to kind of garner some of those things. And so whether he is a man of faith, he has definitely been around people with a very strong, balanced, secure sense of the faith of the God of the Bible, Jesus Christ. And so it was just so mesmerizing. And the tea and the drama. I mean, everybody thought the old man was old, but he was old, but you know, he was a Rolling Stone. So he had a lot of kids out here in these streets. He had a lot of merry-go-rounds going around, at one point in time. Okay, so I think his oldest kid was like 60 something, and his youngest one was like 15. So he had a whole life of merry-go-round rides. And so but ain't nobody get that money. I'm just saying, I hope I'm spoiling nothing. I don't think I am. So I'm sorry about that. But it's so good. Hi, Bryce. Hello, everyone who's new. Hello. Welcome. So good to have you here. So good to have you guys here. But yeah, beautifully. I was so surprised by the faith elements that were woven into it. The only thing about it that was like, was the ending was really kind of ambiguous. And I was like, it just kind of left you like, all right, then. And I was like, did he just peace sign me out? And that's the end of the story? What am I supposed to do with this? So I would warn you, it's a little ambiguous, but that might be a John Grisham thing. Maybe his books tend to be more ambiguous at the end and more, open-ended and not that definitive, ending of like, this is how it's going to be. We're going to roll with this ending and, later for everybody else. So it's one of those things. So I had a great time. I highly recommend The Testament. And I recall a lot of people really liking Josh Grisham. And at my local library, I don't know, they must be a John Grisham fan club, because I'm like, I mean, I know he read like 11 books, but more than that, so I hope y'all library systems are a little better than the one I'm around. But your girl got library cards in almost every zip code that I can get. So yes, love to see it. Okay. All right. So y'all tell me, what's your favorite book from August that you read? Your favorite book from August. Let me know. 56 to 15, Bryce. Yes, his kids. Yeah. Penny says she tried the Aloe of Law but couldn't get into it, so she'll try later. Yeah, I recommend it. Yeah, especially if you just read the Mistborn trilogy. It's a little jarring a little bit. You can't remember August at this point. Yeah. Right, y'all. We in October. My bad, y'all. We in October. Well, let's move on. No problem. Or your favorite book in there too. So let's see. Let's start with the Spy Family, y'all. Spy Family. Spy Family. By Way of Moonlight, book lover Amanda. Okay. That was your favorite from August. I'm sorry, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm waiting for the chat to catch up. It must be on a delay, and your girl is forgetting. My mama said she reads directions out of the cake box. Okay. So y'all wonder where my humor come from, huh? Nay said her favorite was a reread of 3 by Ted Decker and Search for Prince. Girl, yes, we're gonna testify Search for Prince. We're gonna testify in a minute. Woo! We're gonna testify in a minute. Yes. By Way of Moonlight. Amanda, By Way of Moonlight, was that with the lady with the long hair? That had to put all the weaves to shame. Was that By Way of Moonlight? Molly put all the 360 enclosures to shame, huh? If y'all don't know what a 360 enclosure is, go on and YouTube it, okay? Look it up. It's a whole full frontal wig. But her hair was just massive. But all That Is Secret by Patricia Rayborn. Readers Gotta Read. Welcome. Readers Gotta Read. I haven't heard of that. Oh, that was Beneath the Bending Skies. Okay, I knew that, Amanda. Thank you, girl. I appreciate it. Okay, so Spy Family, y'all, I read all of them. I think I've read 1 through 6. Did I read 7? I'm not sure if I read 7. I think I did. I don't know, but I definitely read 1 through 6. I absolutely love this. Book 1 with Lloyd, it's on the back. You got a spy, you got an assassin, and a telepath. Okay, and the telepath is my little baby Anya. Anya is literally the sweetest, most precocious, innocent little girl I read on page. Like she would get the cutest award. I'm telling you, I love me some Anya. And then like her sass, like when she sets her mind to something, she like, I'm gonna get it. Or when she discovers something, she's like, I'm smart. She's just how he writes the characters is just so good. This is a manga series that's ongoing. I don't know how many it's going to be, but the first one I gave 4 stars. Second one, 5 stars. I think the second one is still my favorite because it ain't nothing about my baby, my little Anya. Nothing about, oh my gosh, she's so precious. And then we had Book 3, which is Book 3. Now, Book 3, y'all. Book 3 was weird. Okay, there is a creepy brother, and it creeped me out. So I think I gave that 3 stars. Let me not guess and look at my notes because your girl is prepared as usual. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, I think I gave that. I think I gave 3 stars. I think I gave it 3 stars because, yeah, I just wasn't having. I actually gave it 4 stars. My bad. I gave 3 4 stars. That one was a good one. And then 2 I gave 5 stars, and I think maybe Book 4 was the one that I gave that 5 stars too. And then 5. Okay, 5 was the one with the brother on it. No, Christina, use your nose. Obviously, the creepy brother's on it. That's the one I gave 3 stars. And it was the first one I was just like, because he was in it a lot, and I was like, you nasty. So I just, and then also too, there was a few conversations that Anna was having with one of the young girls, and I was like, little girl, huh? Her friend. Y'all just 2 years from being potty trained, huh? Anya's supposed to be 6 years old, and they talk about grown people stuff, huh? What you know about grown people stuff? What you know about paying taxes? What you know about, you barely can, get the toilet tissue off the roll, huh? Okay, you barely can put your clothes on by that point. You don't know nothing about that. So I don't know if that's falling on a cultural line of demarcation and American, I don't know. And I think some of the books aren't hitting for me because of the cultural humor that might just be lost in translation. So that could be it. And I think the brother does show up in Book 3, and I was like, bruh, like, you're weird. But other than that, I would still highly recommend this series. Just be warned, some of them are going to be a little out there. 6, I think I gave 3.5 stars, which, I ain't gonna tell her she ain't anyway. Yeah, I gave this 3.5 stars. Because upon thinking, I originally I had my rating at 4, and then I thought about it, I was like, you know what? There was some interesting things. I was like, yeah, I gotta give it 3.5 stars. But overall, it's good. It is for adults, so this is not for children at all. I mean, I know it's in the manga. Is you say manga or manga? Okay, I know it's in the manga. That's probably not how you say it. I know it's on the manga. Then it's definitely for adults. So this isn't suitable for children if you're wondering. But this was absolutely amazing. Yes. Sky said her friend trying to be out these streets. Yeah, girl. I'm telling you, it was something. Okay. Let's talk about the good. In Search of a Prince, y'all. Oh my God. A whole new world. That's where we'll be. A wondrous place for you and me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me just say, I have a lot to say about this book, so y'all just go and buckle up. Hope you get a tea or a beverage. First, I want to thank book lover Amanda. I'm about to cry thinking about it. This was my first book gift I got for the channel. And book lover Amanda been such a huge supporter of my channel. One of the first people that was like, hey girl, hey girl, hey. And she sent me this beautiful book. And typically I am a fantasy, science fiction, historical fiction, thriller reader. I don't do romance, very, very rarely, but I like hearing everybody talk about the books that they like, right? I enjoy hearing people talk about the books that they enjoy, even if I don't particularly enjoy that genre. And everyone was talking about this. And I was just like, well, first, it struck me because look at this gorgeous cover, okay? Look at the shade of brown this girl is, okay? So for me, being, a brown girl, I don't see it. It's very rare to see a beautiful brown woman on the cover of a book, let alone a Christian fiction book, let alone a Christian fiction romance book, let alone her hair look amazing, her outfit too. I know I'm being superficial to a certain degree, but that is important to me. That is important. That is important to me. And to see that Bethany House took a chance on this and on this cover. It blows my mind. And so I was like, okay, is the story going to be good? Because again, your girl ain't reading romance, okay? Not really my thing. I can count on one hand how many romances I read, okay? So Amanda, I put this on my wish list, and Amanda gifted it to me, and I'm going to tell you, annotated to the nth degree, y'all, okay? It's about Brielle, and she's a teacher in New York City, and she finds out that she is the heir to a Lorelei. I think that's how you look at me enunciating words. A Lorelei. I think that's how you say it. Off the coast of Africa, and she is to assume the royal position because her father died. Okay. And so her mother didn't tell her about this. So she's just being thrust into this limelight, into royalty, into all of the glam of it, I'm sure, but the pressure. And the one of my favorite things that stood out to me about this was that the faith of the people of Olorele, of her mother, of her grandfather, of her best friend, and even of Brielle herself, her faith was so strong. It wasn't a redemptive faith arc, right? How sometimes, you see, people who are new to the faith or they come to know Christ through the course of the story. We open up and Brielle knows Christ. She has a very, very strong, beautiful, poignant, open, David-like, Psalm-like prayer life, okay? And you can tell, like, she walks with the Lord through her life. She acknowledges God in all the things that she does, in all the decisions. She doesn't hide away. Tony Shiloh doesn't hide away from what she has to say about the anger that she had towards her mom by hiding something from her and those real raw emotions. But then she had her friend there to help come alongside her and give her godly wisdom. Y'all, give her godly, sound wisdom. Monique, Gabby, Julie, if y'all in the chat, I love y'all giving godly, sound wisdom to her friend. Okay? Like that in and of itself was how, I want to say anointed. I do. And so that's the word I'm going to use. That this character was. And like this, God gave this, and this is my opinion, but I know God gave this story to Tony Shiloh. He did. Because okay, so we just talked. I can't even so many words because this book it leaves me speechless. And then we're not even talking about the romance part. We're just talking about, oh my gosh, Oshina, girl, hey, thank you for coming by, sister. Everybody say hey to Oshina. Oh my goodness. Katie, oh my goodness. Hey, so good to have you guys. And so the fact that, and even in the faith elements of her grandfather and the people of the nation, like it's a Christian nation, and no one was in question about, well, I don't know about that Jesus thing, and you sure you hearing from him, and all that that keep that fakeness. Oh, none of that here, none of that here. And the prayers that she prays, oh, the prayers that she prays, y'all. Oh my gosh, the prayers that she prays. Lord Henry, let me try to find a prayer that this young woman that Tony wrote here. Woo! I can't read but so many because it's powerful. But the prayer that her friend prays over her, the prayers of her grandfather, the prayers that she does. And so she's in search of a prince because the people, the elders of the country are like, well, she gotta be married now. She ain't gonna be out here Miss Single Mingle running the country. We ain't having none of that foolery happening or Lorelei. We ain't having all of that. So she got to get married. And so hence the search for a prince and her journey to that. But it's more than that. It's about her faith and how she's grounded in her belief of Jesus Christ and how she relies on him as she trusts him, even when she has, it appears that there is no way, but she puts her faith glasses on, and she walks by faith. And the Lord works everything out for the good of those who trust and are called according to his purposes. So yes, you got everybody. If you ain't read it, read it. I Got to Win a Prince as well. That's the second book in the series that follows her best friend and her romance. And Tony Shiloh, if she's looking, or if you ever take a look, we appreciate you. And I thank God for this story. I thank God that the story is out here. So, and I wish this story was out when I was a young woman, right? And I was in my early 20s. And I wish that there was something that I could look to see myself as a young, single, Christian Black woman. And what does that look like? How can you walk in faith in this world? What does that look like? How can you do it? Is it possible? And it is possible. It is so possible. So we thank God for stories like this, right? This is amazing. Okay, another one. Counting with the Stars by Colleen Cossett. I said her name wrong. Counting with the Stars. Counted with the Stars. And I'm going to tell you this, I love a biblical retelling. So that's definitely my vibe and my vein of the books that I really, really enjoy. Counted with the Stars follows Kaya, and she's been sold into slavery by her father and forsaken by her family. It's crazy. But she was supposed to marry, but her dad was like, yeah, my bad. So she gets sold into slavery. And in this, she actually, the mistress she serves just wants to humiliate her because there's tea with that too. So you got to find out what the tea is, but it's tea. It's some good tea with that. But anyway, then all these plagues start striking Egypt, and she's in the middle of it, but she befriends a Hebrew slave that's in the same house with her, and she escapes with the Israelites, and the journey ensues from there. This is one of the most beautiful biblical retellings I have ever read. I love the book of John. Y'all know that too. We're going to get to that in a second, but I also love book of Genesis and Exodus, and the story of the Israelites and how they come through, and the way that Colleen describes these plagues, the way that she talks about faith, the way that she and it's so refreshing, because usually with biblical retellings, traditionally from my experiences, they're usually about a specific character that we know of in scripture, right? So maybe it would be about Miriam or Moses or Aaron, but this is about a completely fictional character in the same setting. And man, wild, absolutely wild. And the Red Sea, y'all. The Red Sea. That's all I'm going to say. The Red Sea. Okay. Oh, Mount Sinai. It goes, and what blew me away about this was that there was so much ground to cover. I was like, how was Colin going to do all the, am I saying her name right? Colin? How is she going to do all this? Because we're supposed to follow them from the plagues all the way to the law. Okay. How are we going to do this? This is wild. This is ambitious. Is she going to, and she does it. And she is clearly a craftsman of writing, a craftswoman in her writing, because she will just weave everything in like 2 or 3 sentences and give you exposition. She will give you faith elements. She will give you character development, everything. And this is her debut work. She's been writing for a long time. I'm just now knowing. I didn't know. Now I'm knowing. So, and I buddy read this with Miriam, the classic queen. Yes, we love her. Miriam Elizabeth Reads. Go check her channel out. She's amazing. Yeah, so I buddy read this with her, and man, this is one of her favorite books. And actually, she gifted this book to me as well. So it was so kind of her. So for her to, for us to read this together was absolutely amazing and so much fun. And it was just so beautiful and well done. So I highly recommend this, y'all, for sure. Like, no slouch. No slouch. Now let's get to some Christian fantasy. How are y'all doing? Are y'all still here? Thank y'all for just hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all so much. Cheers to you. For sure. For sure. Oh, Amanda. Thank you, girl. So, yeah. Christian fantasy. So, I plan on doing a part 2 Christian recommendations video some point this year, by the end of the year. I hope to, but just know a video is coming out. I ain't gonna say you when, but there'll be a video coming out. Y'all know I'm on my 1 video per month schedule, so we're still sticking to that. So this is book 2 in the Candlestone by Brian Davis. This is the Raising Dragon series, and I just discovered this series earlier this year, I think in May, and this is book 2. But book 1 follows 2 characters. I can't remember, they're Billy and Molly, and they are guarding a secret in the making that's been kept for a long time. And I love how Brian Davis has a retelling of the Arthurian retelling, and it's so refreshing. And to talk more about it would be to give it away. And so I don't want to say any more than that, but I think this series is so good for just everyone, even for Christians, non-Christians, for middle grade, because the kids start off about 14 or 15, but then they evolve and we grow with the characters. I believe it's 4 books in the series. And it was just such a wonderful time. It's funny, and the history and the Arthurian lore, which I absolutely love, because all this other adult like the Arthurian lore from like secular stuff be wild. But it's kind of close to the legend, so I can't be mad at him, but it's wild. But take all that and just boom, throw it away. He is such a refreshing take on that, and on dragons. Yes, give me dragons. Yes, give me dragons. So this was so much fun. I gave it 4 stars. I highly recommend it. Hopefully I can finish the series by the end of this year. So we love to see it. Okay. And now Fawkes by Nadine Brandes. Nadine. Woo, these names, y'all. I am so sorry about these names. But if y'all didn't know, Nadine recently released, let me go get it. Let me stop playing. Hold on. Wishlist, huh? So if you've seen this, we're here for it. Nadine the Queen, Thank you, Sky. I like that. Nadine the Queen. Okay. And so I first read Nadine in I think I read this in August, and this is a buddy read, and I believe also it was a gift, another book gift from Lovely Day with Holly. Love her. She's my book bestie. Lovely Day with Holly, Miriam Elizabeth Reads. and Stacy at Christian Books and Classics. All of us tend to have the same taste. Well, I tend to have the same taste with the three of them. So I thought when Holly said she really liked this and she saw it, she was like, girl. I was like, girl. So, y'all. Now, I gave this book 4 stars. Nadine, she is, and I was talking to Lindsay, Amanda, and Scott earlier a few weeks ago about this, about Nadine's writing, because they were reading Wishlist. And with Nadine, it's like she's going to be, I believe she's going to emerge to be one of the leading Christian fantasy writers, like of our time. Like Nadine can go and write secular fantasy. That's like, she's got it. She's got it. Because let me take the book jacket off, because I can't, who has the time? I'm so excited about this book, because what she's able to do is to craft so much. And again, this story was very ambitious. Let me tell you about it, because I'm professional and I know what I'm talking about. So keepers think the igniters caused the plague. Igniters think the keepers did it. But Thomas has a stone plague and it's infecting everyone, and he doesn't know what to do. But then he has to actually figure out how to stop this from happening. And in this world, the magic in this world, people can draft colors through a mask, hence the mask on here. And you can use your power of your mask to make inanimate objects do things, to do all kinds of magic in this world. And so Thomas is trying to get his mask, okay? And so in order for him to get his mask, he has to do certain things, okay? So he's on a journey to find that out and to figure out how he can stop this plague from happening. And it's a historical Christian fiction fantasy. It's like a genre bending story. It's like a YA and adult. And so it could be considered YA, but then there's some very adult things that happen. And I don't mean explicit content. I just mean adult themes and adult conversations that happen, like things that, taxpayers have to pay, real life things that we need. But yeah, I'm talking like y'all know what the book is. But yeah, this was amazing. So when everyone's raving about Wishlist, I already know this is going to be a 5-star, because I could already feel it. I could see it, that she's building something so beautiful and unique. And I think this was written in 2018. 2018. And so she's been working on her craft. And Nadine, girl, honey, you got it, honey. She got that thing. Like, she's a Robin Hobb in the making. I mean that. Y'all know I love me some Hobb. Now we're gonna get to her in a minute, but she's a Robin Hobb in the making. And the fact that she is Christian fantasy, yay. Highly recommend this, you guys. It is a standalone. So if you're a little nervous about fantasy, starting a big episodic story, don't worry. She accomplishes so much in this one book. It just blew my mind. I might have to up my rating, because I'm still thinking about this book and I think I'm gonna have to up my rating, and how awesome it was and how ambitious it was and how she accomplished everything that she set out to do. And she did it with such excellence and such authenticity to the characters, to the story she wanted to tell, to the world building, to the magic system. God, so good. So we're getting close. Thursday Murder Club, okay, by Richard Osman. Y'all, this book was oh my God, these old people are funny. These old people, I can't. They was out here in these streets, okay? It's about this retirement village, and there are 4 unlikely friends that meet in the jigsaw room to discuss unsolved crimes, and they call themselves a Thursday Murder Club. And so then somebody actually gets murdered. Okay, I'm not laughing at somebody getting murdered, but they got a real case to solve. These senior citizens, y'all better leave these senior citizens alone. Y'all better leave these citizens alone because they out here solving crimes. And they was like withholding information from the detective and they were doing a better job than the detective. Like it's wild. Oh my gosh. Senior citizens. And it's so refreshing to read a story about characters who are at this stage in life, because usually everybody's a YA or adult or something like that, but you very rarely read characters who are at this point in life. They still alive and getting it. They got things to do. They got dreams and goals and mess and tea that they get into as well. Life ain't over for them. In a lot of ways, it's just beginning for them. In a lot of ways, a lot of these characters are stepping into who they really are and who they've always wanted to be, and not making any apologies for it. So we can learn some lessons from some senior citizens, okay? But y'all, these characters just say the most off-wall stuff, and I can't. And then one of the I can't say what was my favorite because it's a little inappropriate. But it was hilarious, and I'm laughing so hard because I'm thinking about all the things it said. I gave this 4 stars. You guys got to check it out. I'm gonna finish the next 2. My library has them, so I probably won't buy this. I am gonna unhaul it just because, it's kind of like once you read it, I don't really feel like I need to keep it, but I am intrigued to read the rest of it. So we love to see it. Yeah, so it was funny. It was hilarious. I'm sorry. Okay. So the guy, he said, okay. So one of the senior citizens, he's like, they're talking about all the things that they do in their free time, right? And he's talking about all things he do in their free time. And Ron, I think his name is Ron. Ron turns to the girl, to someone. He was like, listen. Okay, I'm gonna get it, y'all. Hold on, give me a second. He says, hey, he said, I swim every day. Keeps the skin tight. All right, I'm moving on. Okay, so the next he said keep the skin tight. Oh my goodness. All right. So I read Lord have mercy, these senior citizens out here saying whatever they want to say. And so Daisy Darker, this is a book of the month pick, I think from August as well. I really like this. I gave this 4 stars. It definitely surprised me. And I can see if you have not read Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, don't read this yet. You could, but you might, if you haven't read Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, this would kind of spoil that for you a bit. So if you haven't read that, then don't read this yet. And so in regard to that, I thought it was really good. It's a dark Daisy Darker is a family is a similar for guess what? A reading of the will, huh? And who gonna get the money? Who gonna get the money? But the matriarch is found murdered, and then who gonna get the money now, huh? Because she said somebody gonna get the money, but they said, well, we want to change that, grandma. So yeah, so everybody's trapped on this island, and they got to figure out who gonna get the money now. Okay, so I gave it 4 stars. Definitely very dark, to a certain degree, pun intended. To a certain degree, but if you're not into thrillers, it's not really your thing. I wouldn't necessarily. This isn't a thriller. I'll be like, oh yeah, go pick this up. You're gonna like it. Probably not. But yeah, this was a good time. I had a good time with this, and the red herring was like, okay, Alice, acting grown. Okay, Alice, acting grown. Okay, we love to see it too. Okay, all right, y'all. So I hope y'all didn't think we was gonna get all the way through this. Let me know what book y'all think we about to talk about next, or an author that you think we're going to talk about next. Because if you don't know, you're about to know. Alien, I'm sorry, big boy. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Man, y'all know me, huh? Hobb effect. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Penny, Cat Lady Book Nook, Penny D. Penny. She came out here in these streets and was so emotionally supportive of me after the reading of this. I posted it on my Insta story and she was like, girl, where you at? What happened? And I said, girl, let me tell you. And I had to word vomit it out. I just paragraphs, maybe a voice memo in there too. I don't remember. But Penny was here. Penny was here for me. She gets it. She gets it. Hobb. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hobb. So this is, if you don't know, Robert Hobb is one of my favorite fantasy authors of all time, period. The biggest T. There's no T at the end of period, but that's my accent. Just want to clarify that. There's a D at the end of period, but I say T because it's serious, okay? It's serious when I put a T on the end of a D sound. So it's a Southern accent, can't help it. So Realm of the Elderlings, it's a high epic scale fantasy. They got maps in the front. So, you know, embark on your own. I wouldn't recommend Hobb as an entry point to fantasy, okay? Unless you're ambitious. Now, I ain't going to discourage you from reading Hobb. I'm just saying if you want to get the most out of it, you probably want to have your fantasy muscle strong because she's going to take you through some things. She going to take you through the fire, Shaka Khan. Okay. You're just going to go through the whole thing. So yeah, this is the first, the Realm of the Elderlings is a 16-book series, and the book is broken up in 4 trilogies and a quartet. And so part of the trilogies, majority of the trilogies, we're following Fitz Chivalry Farseer, Pearl Fitz. We're following him. And the Farseer trilogy is the first trilogy where we follow Fitz as he's growing up in the 6 duchies and all the things that occur. So this is the second trilogy in the Realm of the Elderlings following Fitz. And so let me just read my notes here because I had a lot to say about my experience. And of course, it will be non-spoilers because I don't want to spoil anything. It got its own note section. Yeah, Fitz's relationships are challenged and broken. And although he has, it's been 10 years since the events of this book. And so his relationships have changed. He's 35 years old at this point, and his relationships have changed. He's definitely looking at his life now through the lens of it as an adult and all of the trauma and the things that occurred to him, that happened to him, and evaluating his decisions that he made out of duty and out of loyalty to the 6 duchies and the king. And how maybe he's having some regrets. He's definitely got that hermit life going. Okay. He like, I'm done with all of y'all. Leave me alone. I'm going to my cabin in the woods. I'm out. Okay. But again, they call him back because they need him. And so here we are with Fitz and poor old Fitz. It's like with Robin Hobb, like you feel the complete weight. And these books are written, Fitz's books or his trilogies are written in the first person. And that's not normally the case with fantasy. Fantasy is usually written in third person, omniscient, so you got all the things. Now Hobb can write in the Elisha Trader series, which is the second. Let me show it. Y'all see all them books over there, like that shelf right there. That shelf right there, that's the Realm of the Elderlings shelf, huh? That's all the Hobb books, okay? So, yeah, it's serious. So in the Elisha Trader series, that's where that is. So the Elisha Trader series follows a complete different story, but you can check my channel out for like all the different things. I am, doing videos on, I don't know if I'm going to do an individual book for this trilogy, or I'm going to do a series wrap up, but I will do it. But you can check out my channel for the Realm of the Elderling videos. They're all non-spoiler, so you won't be spoiled for anything, but it's just my reactions. And most of the time I'm just like out of loss of words. But anyway, following Fitz and just all the things and his trauma and his past. And Hobb, although her writing is slow paced, is not boring. It's very tense. The emotional impacts will just have you just crying. You just crying, and then you get some joy with Fitz, and then he is mad frustrated. At this point in time, Fitz still has not done his accelerated reading yet. He's supposed to be doing accelerated reading here. He has required reading, and he's yet to do it. I'm like, Fitz, we've been with you for 20-some years, bro, and you still ain't did your required reading. I'm gonna need you to do your required reading, Fitz. So it's like he's here. You know what I'm saying? So emotionally invested in the Realm of the Elderlings and in Robin Hobb. So let me know if you want to take the journey. I recommend starting with Farseer Trilogy. Read for the Sky. She has started, and I just love to see it. And I think Lovely Day with Holly is on Golden Fool, which is what I'm currently reading, which is book 8. So this was amazing. 5 stars. Who's surprised? Who is surprised? Who is surprised? So we're getting ready to wrap up. I'm getting ready to wrap up the stream. I do want to thank everybody. The next 2 books that I want to talk about are kind of based on the Christian Book Club. And in the month of August and September, I think Oshina was the one that suggested, or she prompted that she wanted to read her Bible more, and she wanted to share that with everyone. And so I wanted to participate in that as well. And so for the month of August, the book of Galatians was picked, and in the month of September, John. So Galatians, I just kind of want to talk about some of my thoughts from the Christian Book Club as well, and how it ministered to me, how it helped me as well. But I don't have any. I have more Christian fiction books. Just these 2 books I kind of want to talk about. But the first one again was another gift from Lindsay. Lindsay gave me this gift, another gift from when my channel first started, and the Essential Towser collection. And so The Pursuit of God was the first book I read, and I read that. And I'm going to tell you, even for it to be such a small book, I think it was only 50 pages. It was incredibly powerful. And, he really talks about so many things. And, Towser really goes for the jugular on us, and I'll just read some of the quotes that just moved me so much. His prayers were just absolutely beautiful that he had at the end of it. Towser is a self-taught theologian, pastor, and writer. He was alive in 1897 to 1963, and his writings are so prophetic. And so I encourage everybody to read Towser if you can. I definitely will be continuing The Pursuit of Man and The Crucified Life. But I recommend every believer, Jesus Christ, The Pursuit of God. And I think it's just imperative that we read, books like this to help us center on our faith, to help us understand, to give real world application to this life that we lead. And, so I believe, and I thank God for writers and people who lean into that and who make the sacrifice to put these things together. And Towser was a man of faith, and he was so humble, and you can definitely see that. So I'll just read a quote that was just so powerful for me. And let me just share that. Here we go. The universal presence is a fact. God is here. The whole universe is alive with his life, and he is no strange or foreign God, but the familiar Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, whose love has for these thousands of years enfolded the sinful race of men. And always he is trying to get our attention, to reveal himself to us, to communicate with us. We have within us the ability to know him if we will but respond to his overtures. And this we call the pursuit of God. We will know him in increasing degree as our receptivity becomes more perfect by faith and love and practice. Towser, right? Towser. And so that's kind of in line with Galatians. And the Galatians, a lot of us are known with our, the fruits of the spirit, right? Galatians 5, gentleness, goodness, self-control, temperance, right? That temperance, that self-control will be struggling with your girl, because I be wanting to have all the delicious treats and the delicious eats, I want them all. I want them all. But hey, we gotta have that long suffering. We skip over long suffering sometimes too, don't we? We skip over that, right? Long suffering, bearing with others. Even people can be difficult or not. We can't. Sometimes it's hard to understand people or where they're coming from. But to be long suffering, right, with others, to esteem other people more than ourselves. And if we all did that for one another, man, we'd be in heaven, wouldn't we? And so the fruits of the spirit, so important. So that ministered to me as well. But as I was sitting here kind of thinking about, and I'm reading currently from my Amplified Bible. I have like different versions of Bibles, but I really enjoy the Amplified Bible. But yeah, so that's what I'm reading through now. And the one verse that's still ministering to me is Galatians 1:10. And now, am I now trying to win favor and approval of men or of God? Or am I seeking to please someone? If I were still trying to be popular with men, I would not be a bondservant of Christ. And so that just hit me right here, right? It convicted me. It encouraged me. It continues to do so. Because in this society, in this world, it's just like fear of missing out, right? Comparison. Am I good enough? Am I this? Am I that? And then we got all of our own personal deficiencies, right? And so, okay, Lord, what we're going to do? And he's like, you just got to look to please me and to trust and obey me. And so that has just been ministering to me even now throughout the whole day. And I hope it does the same for you. So Galatians 1:10 was just the theme for me for the month of August. So let me know if you participated in this, what verse stood out to you, or even if you've read Galatians as well, what verses stood out to you, or your favorite Bible verse. I'd love to know. And then in September, we read the book of John. The book of John. And John is my favorite book of the Bible. Hands down, the Gospel of John is my favorite book of the Bible. I've read it. I mean, this is my Amplified Bible, so it's real wild on the other. And and it caused me to remember one of my favorite books of all time, which I highly recommend. This is Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins, John's story. And it really follows the eyewitness account of John and how he actually is pitting his gospel and the book of Revelation. And what I really loved about this as well was that it actually has the Gospel of John, like the entire gospel. And I think Revelation is here too. Yes, it's all of his works are here at the end of the book. So this is the retelling or the fictional telling. And then this is the actual book. And it is one of my favorite books of all time. And so I paired this with my reading through John. And it was just an amazing time. Just to see the historical accuracy of Jerry Jenkins. And I couldn't figure out, I don't know if y'all heard of the show called The Chosen. It's amazing. It's the crowdfunded miniseries about Jesus and his disciples and his ministry for the 3 years. And I couldn't figure out what was about that show that I was just so connected with, that I found so biblically sound and poignant, and just all the human aspects. Well, the son of that show, Dallas Jenkins, Jerry Jenkins is his father. And I was like, that's why. It's that same tone, that same understanding of scripture, the humility, the heart, all of those things that are going into The Chosen is so relevant because of the foundation of his father. It had a huge significant impact, I'm sure, on his life and his creative outlet through movies and vignettes and things. But Jerry Jenkins, again, I highly recommend this as well. And so yes, it was just beautiful. It was just so beautiful. And so with that, one of my favorites, and I did an Insta story as well, and I'll have my my Goodreads and my Goodreads and my Instagram are linked on my channel as well. So feel free to go check that out. But I'll put all this in the stream recap so everyone can come back and look for it. But yes, my favorite story, it's so many in John, but my absolute favorite is the woman at the well. John 4 verses 23 through verses 7 through 29. And the main crux of it, come see a man who told me all the things I ever did. The woman at the well, very complex woman. Jesus went out of his way to see the Samaritan woman. He crossed racial boundaries, gender boundaries, all of these things to get her attention because he knew her life transformed would transform the lives of so many people. So don't take for granted your testimony and what you've been through and the memorials that God has set up in your life. Those stones that you look back on and you wonder, oh Lord, you've brought me through so many things. And it's a testimony to all of us and to people who don't know as well. And so, she was just so elated to meet the Messiah. And that story it just impacts me because I was the woman at the well. Your girl had tea, life tea, okay? I was the woman now I ain't had no 4 husbands. I ain't gonna be out here like that. Your girl won't out there like that. But I'm just saying there was just complexities and things that happen to all of us that we all are come to a point in our life where we're waiting for something to happen and all these other things aren't working, and here comes the Savior, right? Here comes the Savior, anticipating our angst, anticipating our sass, because she gave him a lot of sass at the well. She was like, okay, so are you greater than Jacob who built this well? I mean, go get your pail if you're gonna get some water, bruh. She came at him with a lot of static. She was bitter, but that one conversation, that one encounter changed her life immediately. And so I pray that everyone has that encounter with Jesus Christ as well, because I've dropped my water pot and come to tell y'all about the risen Savior. So that story was so powerful, and it just ministered to me. And I believe she was the one that the first one that Jesus revealed himself to onset his ministry. And he chose a Samaritan woman who was out, and in Jewish culture, the racial tension was real. The ethnic tension was so poignant and violent. And so Jesus didn't care about any of that. And so Jesus is the great equalizer, okay? He's the great equalizer. And so when we come to him with all of those things and we leave it at his feet, we just come as we are, he gonna equalize everybody. And so it was just so great. John was just so amazing. And again, my favorite verse in my favorite book is John 21 verse 25, and it says, and there are also many things which Jesus did, which if they were recorded one by one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that will be written. That is literally the most beautiful line. That's literally the most beautiful verse I have ever read in my life, y'all. John, right? Many things that Jesus did, right? That if they were recorded, there wouldn't be enough books to fill the whole world, to fill them. Lord, we thank you. Lord, we thank you. Yes. And so that concludes my wrap up, y'all. That concludes my wrap up. So let me catch up in the chat, see what's going on. Books. Mrs. Thomas asked, "Will there be a book for the Bible for October?" I'm not sure, Mrs. Thomas. And I'm not sure. I think if I remember correctly, I think she mentioned something. Oh, she mentioned something about reading in the Old Testament, but I'm not sure if that's her official announcement. Um, but I'll definitely we'll have to definitely look at that. But but I know Miss Thomas, you actually started reading Revelation as well. That was a read through, so I know that was going to be really good. Yeah, someone's catch up in the chat. Yeah, so books that I plan on reading are Mark of the Raven. Let me go get them real quick. Yeah, so Witch, I'm starting tonight. And also, by the way, Sky is going to be doing sprints. If she hasn't started her sprints already, she will be starting them, I believe, at the end of this stream. So y'all go check it out. If you want to do productivity sprint, I'm going to be there reading Wistress, huh? We're going to be there. So y'all go ahead and check her out as well for the sprints. Mark of the Raven. This is a buddy read I'm having with Grace Field Reads. I love her, Christy. She's new to BookTube, to Christian BookTube or BookTube in general. I don't know technicalities, but reading this with her. This is a Christian fantasy of story as well. So I'm excited about this. Oh, and this is a buddy read too with Tiffany Reads as well. So yes, so excited. And then this is the month of buddy read. I know. This is a carryover from last month, the Inheritance Games. I'm reading this with my CiCi. Hey, girl. Hey, love you. See you. Appreciate you, girl. And so we're having a great time enjoying this. And let me just show y'all Star Wars bookmark. Huh? Ahsoka Tana. Ahsoka Tana. If y'all ain't know who I'm cosplaying as at Comic-Con, Ahsoka Tana. It's just in case you wanted to know. So anyway, Inheritance Games, so good. So good. And of course, it ain't gonna be reading without a Hobb. So it's the second book, The Golden Fool. Need I say more? Need I say more? So, but anyway, for real this time, this is the end of my life. This is the end of my live. Thank y'all so much. So many of you hung in here with me the whole time. I appreciate all the support, y'all. Me and Elliot both. Don't you, big boy? We really appreciate it. And we just thank y'all. And let me know if you guys like this medium. If you want to do a CHRISSIE in the Wild wrap up once a month, we could do that. We could do that. I hope you have found some joy and could relieve that tension, because it's been crazy out here in these streets for a lot of us, especially with Ian coming through, and then sicknesses and just taxes and just the pressures of this world. But we thank God for his peace, and we thank God for his joy, which is our strength. It literally upgirds us. So I pray that the strength of God be with you, be with you, be with you. And so I just want to pray real quick and say a blessing over you. Oh Lord, we thank you. We thank you for this day, oh God. We thank you for your unending love and kindness, oh God, your unending mercy for us, oh God. We just celebrate you. We thank you for your goodness, oh God. I ask that you bless and you give everyone on the stream, those who came in and said hello and came back, oh God, those who are to see this coming, oh God, those who are in the chat now, Lord. We just thank you for your presence, oh God. We thank you for just seeing us, oh God, and being so intimately acquainted with us as individuals, oh God. So we thank you, oh God. We thank you for that. May the peace of God be with you, strengthen you. Remember that his love and his joy gives you a hope, gives you joy, and your future is secure in him. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. Don't forget Sky, her sprints. Let me put that in the chat. Let me put that in the chat real quick before I leave. Can y'all still see me? Can y'all still see me? Huh? Let me put this in the chat so y'all can go over there and say hello to Sky. Oh my goodness. I'm a professional. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I do. I really do. I've done this so many times. So many times. gee. Oh gosh. Now I can't even see. I know I'm subscribed to you, Sky. I know I am. Oh gee. Yes. Yes. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much, so much. You guys have a good one and blessings to you. And I'll see you soon. Bye.